What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So we all just saw that Bitcoin hit its all-time high of 66,999, depending on what platform you're actually looking at. And it's interesting to see it get to these prices yet again, while me being on the other side, seeing that prediction of not even getting back to 60K before retracting that statement and telling you guys that I believe it can definitely go to 100K. Now, the reason for that retraction was based on the models that I did see, the chart that was in front of me, and how the overall position was moving at the time. Also factoring in something that I'm going to go through in this video. Now, while we did see a retracement recently from 66,000 down to 60,000, we're now hearing that Bitcoin can be able to hit new all-time highs for next month and new all-time highs for the next month after that. So before we get started in this video, guys, make sure you hit the like button. Let me know you enjoy these videos. Also, hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so YouTube can alert you when I post another video. Also, if you guys want to join my Discord group and revamp the Discord group so that we include a lot of people that are educated in the field. Now, there are a lot of catalysts for Bitcoin to get to some of these numbers, especially that overall number of people saying, hey, let's get this over 100K. There's ETFs, there's businesses adopting it. There's a lot of things that are actually factoring into this. But there are many predictions of Bitcoin's price, whether it be positive or negative. According to Plan B, Bitcoin can go up to $135,000 in December. A lot of people question what makes him so sure that this is going to make that move. Apparently, he's made some very popular predictions over the last year or so, and he has 1 million followers on Twitter. He spoke of targets for the world's main crypto of $63,000 in October, $98,000 in November, and $135,000 in December. And this comes after guessing 47K in August and 43K in September. And you're probably asking yourself, how does he guess these numbers? Well, he's not just really guessing, it's more of an educated guess because nothing was really 100% predictable. But he's making an educated guess. And the way that he did that in 2019, in March 2019, he created the stock to flow model for Bitcoin. In June, when Bitcoin was hovering around 34K, Plan B predicted 47K for Bitcoin, which after the descent in July, it kind of seemed like it was unbelievable that that wasn't going to happen. This was going to be a miss when it comes to predictions, which happens with most analysts. However, his prediction came true with the prediction of September at 43K. Since building the stock to flow model, pretty much all of his predictions have come true. Now, what's going around right now is like, what is the stock to flow model? How can you implement this? How can I look at this to know what this price will be? Well, here's the definition that I'm getting. The stock to flow model takes a simpler approach to predicting value change. It measures the current stock of assets against the flow of new production or how it's mined in a year. The higher the ratio, the more scarcity, which in turn will indicate a new price. Now, if you factor that in with the 21 million total supply for Bitcoin, and also look at the current supply, which is 18.8 or 18.9 million, you can understand that the flow is very minuscule, which essentially makes it scarce. So you're seeing a very high demand for people to hold on to this actual asset, continue to grow that asset while you have a small amount that's introduced to the supply every year. And it wasn't only Plan B that made this prediction. JP Morgan came out and predicted that this digital currency would reach 135K by 2022. And maybe this is just a form of them copying to be in the loop, but you never know. Now, with many businesses that are trying to adopt it, a lot of people basically say, like, how could they be wrong? You have so much use for this actual currency. The funny thing is, many retail investors are not worried about the price. They're worried about if it can hold that price. It's always the question is, what's your reason for holding it? Whenever you have a new person to crypto, why do you hold it? Is your reasoning for gains, for its use, for retirement, which essentially would be gains again? For most experienced Bitcoin investors, the end goal is to hold it and use it as a currency. It's not to transition the Bitcoin into a dollar. It's not to transition Bitcoin into the euro. The overall thought is to transition into using the coin. You would buy things like this watch, or you would buy things like a car. You would buy anything that you want to buy with Bitcoin. But is that a good model for Bitcoin to hold its price? In reality, I would say no. I saw an interview from Andre Jick recently, and I think it was an old interview of him talking about Bitcoin. And he said, quote, "You should never trade an appreciating asset for a depreciating asset," which is true. I believe that wholeheartedly. But when you apply that to Bitcoin, and that's the future value, is to take this Bitcoin and buy a car with it, or buy, a watch with it, or buy a table, or whatever you have, what are you going to get out of that you're not giving to the business? If it's something that can appreciate in value, why are you giving that away? And now you're giving away more money than what you eventually wanted to give away. So if you're looking for Bitcoin to get to this $100,000 price, $200,000 price, $1 million price, why would you ever buy that PS5? Why would you ever buy that watch? Why would you ever buy that house? Maybe a house is not a good example because that's an appreciating asset. This is why many people believe it will pass 100K or even 200K, but don't think that it will hold these prices, because you have a lot of people in this world that are more short-term mindset than they are long-term mindset. So it's tough for me. I see the positivity, I see the flow, I see how we're going to get there, but then I can also see the other side. I always like to play devil's advocate just in case. But either way, I'm on the sideline. I really don't have that much Bitcoin invested. I have less than 1% of my money in Bitcoin. But I'll tell you what, this is extremely fun to watch.